Hello. Happy Thursday. I have a friend with me today. I picked up my son Sawyer from school a little bit early after getting a couple phone calls from the school nurse. So he's hanging out with me today.
And that's me.
That's Sawyer. He said he would help me out with the video, so he might pop in here and there. He's making himself a snack right now. Thank you for coming on. If you're watching on replay, you can type in replay. If you're hanging out with us live, let us know how your day's going. You can put a little comment in, and we'll try to write back when we're done here. How's it going, buddy?
Good.
Good. What did you make for a snack? Pizza? You got the leftover pizza? Nice. Mm-hmm. So this week we're talking about adversity. And Sawyer asked me what adversity was. Of course, he doesn't know quite yet what that word means, but he knows what a challenge is, right? Do you know what a challenge is?
Yeah.
Or when something is hard for you?
Yeah, like if there was a word that was challenging, you couldn't really read it.
Yeah. How do you feel when you have a challenge like that?
I feel like, I don't know.
Tell me, what are some of the feelings that you might have?
So,
if you have to do something really, really difficult.
It's disappointing.
Yes.
It's disappointing for me because I can't get the word right away. But when you start trying to practice and practice and practice, it would make more sense to you.
Yeah, that's a good way. Practice, I love that. Putting in the reps, the repetitions of what would you practice? Just do more reading to get better at it?
Yeah, that's what I would do.
What if you're going through a tough time that's hard for your feelings? Instead of for your brain, but your brain and your feelings are kind of connected too. So would that be same disappointed, or what else?
I don't know what you're talking about.
If you were getting bullied at school or something, and you had to go through something difficult.
I would feel sad or mad.
Mad. We're gonna talk about anger today a little bit, so thank you so much for participating, Sawyer. That was awesome.
You're welcome, Mom.
I appreciate that. So yeah, it's Adversity Week, and on Tuesday, we talked about how our struggle leads to growth. And Sawyer talked about practicing to get better at something or to overcome a struggle. And so we talked about, just sometimes the growth that we want is hidden in the struggle that we're avoiding. Yes, go ahead and say something.
So today is National Chocolate Chip Day.
Stop it.
And we did some fun National Chocolate Chip Stuff Day things today.
You did?
So, yeah.
You want to talk about that at the end?
No thanks.
Right now?
I talk.
Oh, okay. Maybe you can tell me about that after. And so yesterday, we talked about the obstacle is the way. And we said the way to what? And we talked about how sometimes when we have adversity or challenges to overcome, it's a way of finding out what we're capable of, a way of self-mastery and learning to control some of these variables. So today, we're going to talk about how you can go from chaos to control when you're trying to deal with adversity and handle adversity. So I've tried to break this down into 4 steps, and I'll use my notes a little bit here. But the first thing is, Sawyer had said something about how sometimes you feel angry if there is a situation that you don't necessarily have control over. You can feel disappointed, you can feel angry. So I want to encourage you that when you have those strong emotions, sometimes it's just a sign that you deeply care about something. And I think it's important to have a little compassion and understanding with ourselves when you have these feelings, you might feel guilty. I know sometimes I feel guilty about having anger or frustration, and especially if my kids can see that I'm having that, then I don't want to be like projecting those feelings onto them or causing them any anxiety. But there are some situations where it's okay to be angry, and you can't live in that space, dwell in that space for too long, but we can kind of hover over those feelings and let them sort of pass by like clouds passing in the sky. And we can use them as signals that there is something important going on. So I wanted to kind of tie this into a scripture, because a lot of times when I am trying to process anger or tough emotions, like I said, I feel guilty, and I also wonder if it's justified or validated, and a part of me seeks to validate my feelings. And I think about the scripture, it's actually in all 4 of the Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. But I'll read this one from Matthew 21, 12 and 13. It says, Jesus entered the temple courts and drove out all who were buying and selling there. He overturned the tables of the money changers and the benches of those that were selling. It is written, he said to them, my house will be called a house of prayer, but you are making it a den of robbers. And I love that, because even Jesus was angry about things, and he had a right to be, and sometimes we have a right to be angry. So when you can recognize that and just allow yourself to work through that, and then we can move on to the next step, which I have to refer to my notes here. Hi, Sawyer. Do you want to say something?
Just so you know, at the end, please hit the like button and subscribe.
Oh yeah, if I put this on my YouTube, you can hit like and subscribe. Sometimes I add these videos to YouTube. Right now we're making a live stream video on Facebook. What? Can you not do that on my video, please? Do you think that might be a little bit rude?
Yeah, but I just can't stop burping.
I will allow you to keep staying on the video if you sing a song for everyone.
No thanks.
To make up for it.
SpongeBob, if that's okay.
In a little bit. Give me like 5 minutes, okay?
All right. 5 minutes, and then you're letting me go.
Okay, I'll let you go.
Right now?
Not quite yet. In a couple minutes. Okay.
Okay, tell me when it's like 4 minutes.
So we talked about strong emotions being evidence of a deep care, and that they're a signal, not a stop sign. So just kind of like visit the feelings, but don't remain in them. I think that during adversity, our feelings and our values, I should say, are kind of coming out more. So we might feel stronger conviction about our values once we process the original anger. So this leads us to the dichotomy of control. When you are going through these tough times, especially really strong hardship, it is important to shift into clarity. And what I mean by that, the Stoics have a concept called the dichotomy of control. And basically everything in life can be separated into 2 groups: what you can control and what you can't control. So when you feel that your energy is being depleted and kind of being sucked into drama sometimes, it's important to think of the dichotomy of control and what do you actually have control over. A lot of times it might just be the script that we're writing around the situation, the way that we're perceiving things, our perspective about what's happening. So oftentimes if we shift our perspective or reframe our thoughts, you will have a more favorable outcome. You can go into problem-solving mode, and you can have more clarity about what the right decisions are instead of kind of dwelling in chaos. So Thank you, Sawyer. I'm getting a little back rub here. The last thing I wanted to bring up
From the Sawyer.
is when we shift from chaos to clarity using the dichotomy of control, not only can you focus your energy, but our power can become more concentrated and clear. So with tying this into parenting, you could say some of the things you could say when those limiting beliefs are starting to come up. You could say, I may not control what happened, but I can control how I show up now. And knowing that the path to peace is not necessarily pretending that things are fine, but it's choosing what to pour your energy into. So if you want to do a little exercise, you can just do this on your own or share with me. Send us a message if you'd like. But I wanted to ask, what tables have you felt like flipping lately? So if there's something going on in your life that you just feel is an injustice or unfair and you're frustrated about it, what tables have you felt like flipping? What angers you? It's triggering you, but it's also justified. So what would it look like to sit with those feelings only temporarily and then choose your next step with clarity, figuring out what you have control over and what you don't? So tomorrow I'm going to come on again at 2, probably not with any little ones. We're going to come on at 2 though, or I will. And we're going to talk about fires that forge. So, and forge, not like the fake kind of forgery, but forging is also the reshaping of metal by being put in a very hot fire. So how does adversity reshape you? We'll just wrap up with that tomorrow at 2. And yeah, I think that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching.
Bye-bye. Hit the like, subscribe button. Like I said at the middle. Bye.
There's my guy, Sawyer. All right, you guys. I hope you're having a great week. Happy Thursday. Have a wonderful afternoon. And we'll talk soon. Bye.